Comprehensive orchestral collections have always been the gold that many composers dig for when shopping for sample libraries. But having huge single volumes for sections like strings, brass, woodwinds and percussion can become cumbersome to work with or store on your computer. Composers who score for trailers, games and other media need something compact, lifelike and fast to work with. And so a variety of libraries have joined the fray to tackle that job of recent years. Spitfire's Albion, Orchestral Tools' Metropolis Arc, Sonia Score's The Orchestra, and Audio Emperia's Jaeger are some great examples of this. Ready-made orchestras with a polished sound out of the box, with true legato sections for expression and motion. That's what we've come to desire and expect. But these libraries all have something in common. A road leading back to nearly a decade ago to a single library. Symphobia 2 by Project Sam. Symphobia 2 was the highly anticipated follow-up to the much-loved original Symphobia. And with the first library's reputation, Symphobia 2 was bringing something new and different to the table. True legato recorded for mixed orchestral sections. The result was an industry first that set the standard for cinematic orchestral sampling and inspired a wave of libraries that have risen to the challenge continuously to this day. Of course, technological advancements have allowed libraries to push the bar further in terms of deep sampling and scripting of late. So has Symphobia 2 become obsolete with its age? Well, let's have a closer look at this milestone library. The first thing you'll notice is there's a buffet of full orchestra and combined section sounds, from epic to gentle. Next, there's a colourful palette of useful articulations for the individual sections. Strings, brass, and woodwinds. And of course, we get our legato sections and soloists. These instruments respond better to slower, deliberate passages and aren't really designed for high-speed playing, so keep that in mind when noodling around. Then there's the hard-hitting dystopia sound design to complement hybrid scoring. It's all there, and it all sounds fantastic. As a matter of fact, this library hardly shows its age, which is interesting. Going up against modern libraries like Jaeger and Metropolis Arc, you'd expect Symphobia 2 to be somewhat outgunned. But much to the virtue of this library's careful sampling and ingenious variety of ensemble sounds, it manages to hold strong and shine just as bright today as it did so many years ago. Symphobia 2 still has two things most modern cinematic orchestral libraries don't have. The first is creative tutti ensembles. Most modern libraries in this area still seem to follow the split section approach, strings, brass and woodwinds doing their own thing. When you think about it, it's not that groundbreaking really. In contrast, Symphobia 2 teams the orchestra together both in full orchestra mode and combines sections that pair instruments which have been proven over decades to work well together, which means that genuine Hollywood sound is right there without the user having to layer or combine tracks mixed to fit together. This provides a straight line to a rich and unique sound that makes composing near effortless, but also inspires the composer. This kind of curious inspiration Project Sam aims for is even more apparent in the second of Symphobia 2's unique traits. highly usable phrases, moving notes, and impacts, which are absolute gems for inspired scoring. This is where you start to notice that Symphobia 2's parts sum up to equal a product that has a high overall value and usability that many composers to this day still rely on. In a way, Symphobia 2 is an anomaly. A creation that inspired many an imitation while still succeeding its own legacy. And with a price point that competes with its current peers, it's obvious that this library was created to last. Over the years, it's become more affordable and still receives regular updates and new bonus content to date at no extra cost. And that's definitely something to brag about. The road of modern cinematic orchestral sampling always leads back to Symphobia 2, and it's an immovable monument that still inspires awe and casts a very real shadow on even the most current challenges. And that's that. I'll see you next time with another library. Check you later.